The book, The Browning of Europe, is a book that chronicles Europe's own cultural and racial identity complex. And I wanted to write it to sort of illustrate this cultural dynamic that's happening in Europe that has been occurring for a number of years, and really to point out the fact that Europe of old, meaning that this white European type Europe, is no longer. That Europe itself is becoming a much browner continent, which is why the title is The Browning of Europe, and the growth that we're seeing with non-white people and the birth decline and population decline of white Europeans indigenous to these nation states in Western Europe today.
Now, why was it important for you to write a book on this topic?
Because there are a number of issues. Again, one, the demographic issue shift that's happening, right? And it's happening at what is perceived to be a alarming rate, okay, to the nationalists in Europe. And so it's a sort of response to them to let them know that this browning of Europe is here, that it's not going anywhere, that this change is a part of the new mosaic of a new Europe.
And what did you learn about yourself writing this book?
I learned a lot about myself. One, just the understanding how broadly people of color are in the world today and our influence, and the fact that anywhere we go in the world, we are making a difference and we have a presence of relevance um, throughout the world. And so that was just something for me that was just reassuring in amongst my travels that I learned in writing a book and talking to different people um, who I interviewed, putting the book together, doing my research.
And what message does the book convey?
The biggest message I would say is that one, for Europeans, specifically white Europeans, to let them know, despite the fact that they are going to have this occurring Europe that's shifting, that's becoming much more multiracial, multi-religious, etc., that within itself should not take away Europe's own identity. That it only actually enriches the identity of what this new Europe is and what it should be.
And lastly, what other work can we expect from you in the future?
Well, I'm also working on a follow-up to this book because since I wrote this book, there again, which actually predicted a lot of what we're seeing today in terms of the immigration influx, in terms of what we're seeing, out of Syria and other places where migrants are coming and immigrants are coming into Europe, but also the Islamophobia, the nationalist aspects that have happened. So the other works that I have upcoming is a companion piece, an updated companion piece addition to what the Brown in Europe originally was thought of. And then there's going to be some media work I'm working on, media projects that I'm putting together. I hope to put together a media documentary piece to the Brown in Europe and other things along the lines of media and writing, particularly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.